Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 4:09 a.m. and I just woke up like a half an hour ago. I completely crashed out tonight. I'd actually planned to just kind of sleep through the entire night, and the street cleaner is over there cleaning the street. I kind of planned on just sleeping through the entire night. But I woke up and I was like, I might as well go vlog. Plus, I wanted to finish my audiobook. I still have not finished that Jana DeLeon book, the 5th one in the Misfortune series. It's called Gator Bait. It's really good. I don't know why I haven't finished it. I just listened to like 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I've got a half an hour left, so I want to finish it tonight. So I can start the next one or whichever book I'm going to start. I'm taking a completely different route tonight. So I also have new lip balm. Well, new to me, that my friend Valerie gave me, and it's from Anthropologie, and it's called My Matcha. It's really, really nice. Hi, Valerini. It smells like matcha green tea, and it's so smooth, and I like the really big containers, like Treat Beauty, you know, they use like big containers like that too, and I like the Sol de Janeiro. I like the bigger containers of lip balm versus the smaller ones, so using that, and I think that's about it. That's my exciting life. Okay, the vlog is done. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about today. I watched the season finale of Drag Showdown last night on YouTube. And then the All-Star season is starting soon. And it was good. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. The person I was rooting for did not win, but I wasn't surprised by who won. Like, I thought it was a deserved win. So, I mean, you can't, like, you know, complain about that, right? Like, the person that won, like, I felt like they really deserved to win. Well, I think all top 3 really deserved to win, but they worked so hard on that show anyway. So I watched that, and what else did I do? I vlogged early last night too, didn't I? I don't honestly remember what I did last night, but I'm real into this show. I think I watched like a couple episodes of this show, Welcome to Plathville. Have you guys heard of this show? Okay, so Tanya Jean got me started on the show. Well, here's what happened. So, when I went to breakfast with Sarah like a week ago, we were talking about different TV shows to watch, and so she, I had my Christmas music on in the background. Bing Crosby, do you hear what I hear? So anyway, I was like, what have you watched that's new, you know? Or like, what are you watching? And she's like, I'm really into this show called Killer Carnies. And I can't remember what the other show was. I think I talked about it on here. There was another show that she said that she was really into too. And for the life of me, I honestly cannot remember what the other show was. I wrote it down in my phone, or typed it into my phone. Killer Carnies, which Tanya watched like the first episode of it. Alex and I started watching it, and it was while we were eating dinner, and I needed something more like kind of like family-ish, like not like gruesome for dinner, but Killer Carnies, and I can't for the life of me remember what the other show was that she was watching. But anyway, then I was talking to Tanya like that next day, and I was telling her about these shows that Sarah had said to watch, and Tanya said, oh, I'm like really into this show. I like binged it in one night, and I was like, what is it? And she was like, it's called Welcome to Plathville. So I kind of like watched like 5 minutes of it here, 10 minutes of it there, and now I'm like several episodes into it. I think it's really good. It was funny because in the second episode, there's one, I'm just gonna have to rewind it and like find the part where the kids are singing this song and figure out what it is. I don't know why I didn't do it when I was watching it tonight. I like binged like several episodes tonight, or watched several episodes tonight. But they're singing this gospel song. Little unknown fact about me, I like gospel music. I have like tons of it in my phone. I know that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like I have, there's this, actually it's not a mix really, but it's from the musical Bubbling Brown Sugar, and it's His Eye on the Sparrow, and it goes into this like fast version of Amazing Grace. It's fantastic. It's on YouTube, you can look it up. And I actually heard it like, God, 27 years ago when Shayla Simpson performed it at National Entertainer of the Year in Louisville, Kentucky for her drag talent. And I don't know how I found it, like several years ago, but it's this fantastic mix. But there's a lot of like gospel music that I like. But these kids were singing this song in like this, I think it was the second episode, because it's the one where Mariah goes to San Francisco. And I was like, what is that gospel song? Like, I love that song. Like, I was raised on a lot of those hymns by just going to church and things like that. There were a lot of those. I mean, when I was going to church, we sang like the mainstays and stuff of the hymns in church. And my mom loved just like the music of church, you know? And she loved to go to all like musical services, like on Christmas like Eve or the 23rd. Sometimes my mom would go to all Christmas or all music services where it was just like all Christmas hymns. I think I would like to go to a service like that. I think it would be really peaceful and serene. My two catchphrase words for 2020, peaceful and serene. Oh, which I have to tell a funny story. Not funny story, but interesting story later. So anyway, I started watching Welcome to Plathville, and I'm like real taken with this show. Like, I really like this show. And it's interesting because we're gonna get off here. I was Googling, like, what's the song in the second episode of Welcome. I mean, I thought somebody would have, like, put up something about it, right? Or, like, I Googled music and Welcome to Plathville and all this kind of stuff. They actually have 2 albums out, 2 gospel albums. I will tell you that they are not the world's greatest singers. It's interesting to me that they have 2 albums out. I think they want to be... Oh, my God, look at the moon. The moon is gorgeous. If I even thought for 1 second it would show up on camera the way that it is, I would turn around and or the camera around and show you, but it's just like, anyway, it's beautiful. But they're not great singers, and they're not horrible singers, but they're just not great singers, and it's just interesting to me that, I don't know. Some of those, it's like the Family Von Trapp singers. You know, they were some singers. They were some singers. But anyway, I digress. I digress, like I say on my drama channel. The show is, well, okay, so then what happened was, I got into this, like, thread, forum, or something. It was like Reddit, but it wasn't Reddit. This forum about this TV show, and like, it was about when it first came out. Somebody was like, has anybody watched this show? And then, I mean to tell you that these people like ripped the show to shreds. I mean, ripped it to shreds. And I think the show's like kind of real sweet and innocent, and like, I mean, the mom's a little hardcore, I will say. But, you know, it's her belief system. It's the way that they live the way that they do. It's just, you know, and it's not like, I don't know that I think that her belief system is hurting anybody, you know? And I'll explain it in a second. So, but these people are just like, oh, this show is fake and it's contrived and it's scripted. I think every reality show is scripted to some degree. I think that's just how it is. I remember years ago, I mean, I love the show, Chris Lee Knows Best. And I think it's real family-oriented, too. And I like that show a lot. And I tweeted out something one time. I think I've said this a couple times on here. I was like, I love that Chris Lee Knows Best, but that show is like the most scripted show in the entire... It is so scripted, you guys. Like, have you ever seen it? Like, I mean... They're sitting around there, and they're like, the whole storyline will be like, about like taking Faye to the casino or something, which is like his mom. I mean, they're so scripted. And Todd Chrisley tweeted me back, and he was like, ha, wish I could say it was scripted, but no, it's all reality. I'm like, it's not reality. Let's just be for real, it's not reality. I know my hair looks horrible, I don't even care. And I used to love that show, Kim of Queens, too, about the pageant coach. I don't know why that show got canceled. That was so good. But that was real. They're all scripted. I mean, they're all scripted to some degree, and I don't even care, right? So the show is about these parents. Their names are Kim and Barry, I think. And they live in, like, southern Georgia somewhere on this farm. This is absolutely beautiful farm. Apparently, Tony said it was like 55 acres, because I was like, well, some of the things are interesting. So they've chosen to basically have their kids live off the grid. Not off the grid, but, like, they have limited computer time. They don't really watch TV. They don't know who, like, Justin Bieber is or LeBron James, or they don't know any of these. I mean, they just don't know anything to do with, like, pop culture, right? And then they play outside. Like, the one kid's making a fort in one episode, and which is like how he's cutting this wood and stuff. 13 is beyond to me. I mean, like, he really has it all figured out what he's doing. His dad helps him with some of it. And the girls, like, sing and play hopscotch, and this one girl is like, she's 15, and she wants to go to college. If she goes to college, well, they don't really see the point of going to college. Why go to college? Because the one daughter that's not on the show, which is like huge controversy apparently, like on these threads, her name's Hosanna. They don't really understand why she's not on the show. Well, she's not on the show because she got married and moved to Ohio, and the show takes place in Georgia. That's why she's not on the show. I don't know what the big controversy is over there, right? Right? And then, so they're like, she got a full scholarship. On the show, the parents are like, she got a full scholarship to go to this Bible college to study music, but why does she need to go to college and study? It's just very backwards. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that Tara Westfield book or whatever, Educated. Some of it does, except the parents are nicer, because they're just like, why does she need to go to college to study music when she, like, is already practicing music? She's singing in, like, a family band or something in Ohio with her husband, who she is married to and moved out of state. But then it came out in these threads that the mother on the show actually went to the University of Florida and studied music, so it's interesting. But anyway, the one daughter, she's real sweet. She's like 15. She does, like, all the cooking and all the cleaning and everything like that. And they're like, and she's like, well, there's one sister, I don't know what happened to her. There's, like, one scene when they're, like, joking. Okay, so the one sister is real rebellious. Her name's Mariah. And, she's kind of, like, honestly, one of my favorite characters besides the sister-in-law. And so they're talking about her, and they're like, well, she just likes to sit around and do her makeup all day long, these two sisters. And I'm like, the one sister that was in that shot, like, I haven't seen her unless it's the sister-in-law, and I don't remember. But anyway, they're real nice to each other, though. They're not, like, mean to each other or anything. It's really nice. But there's the thing, like, they've never had, like, a Coke, and they're, like, 20 years old. So there's, like, the oldest son, I think he's the oldest son. He is married to this girl named Olivia. They're like 21 or 22. And she's basically the devil's spawn to these parents, because she's, like, introducing the kids to all of this, like, normalcy, right? Well, she used to be raised, they're very religious, but you don't know what the religious denomination is. They identify as Christian, but you don't know what denomination. That's a big part of these forums, too, that I was reading. I totally fell down the rabbit hole tonight just trying to find a gospel song. So anyway, which I think the song may be, because it's on their album, Closer, Walk With Thee, or whatever, which is the song they were supposedly playing. I mean, this is like a supposed urban legend kind of deal, that the 4 guys were playing on the Titanic when it went down. Did you know that? But anyway, I've always kind of loved that song. But, so, what was I gonna say? Do you ever like have like strong feelings about certain historical events, and if you believe in like past lives at all, you kind of wonder if like maybe that was like part of your story? I've always had like such a pull towards the Titanic, like anything, and this is long before the movie came out, right? But I've always had like such a pull to anything to do with the Titanic. Like I remember watching that movie like years and years and years ago when I was a kid, called Raise the Titanic, and I was like obsessed with that movie, and like I was obsessed with like reading books about it, and I was always obsessed with like stories about the 3 or 4 orchestra players that were like playing violin as the band went down. I don't know why that always fascinated me as a kid. Maybe I'm like down with the Titanic. Maybe that's why I'm afraid of sharks in this life. Wouldn't that be weird to find something like that out? Anyway, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh, so the show. So she's married. It's Olivia, the sister-in-law or the daughter-in-law. She's married to this guy that's like the oldest son, Ethan. He's total goofball, which like they're making so much fun of him on this thread, and I think he's like real sweet. Like he's never had a Coke before, and so she records him like having a Coke, and he's like, that's pretty good. And he's like in this woman's dress shop, and he's totally goofy and stuff like that. There's this one scene when he's with his coworkers, and they're like, the first time that he ever had a Pop-Tart, like he had to call his wife and tell her about like how good the strawberry, it's like the strawberry glaze was inside or whatever, with strawberry filling. Like it's just very, there's a part of it, like I was talking to Tanya tonight, because Tanya, my best friend, was raised in a very evangelical environment like that, and she's not part of that today, and neither is her family, but she was raised like that for many, many years, you know? And I said to her, I said, like there's something endearing about it. Like there's something that is attractive to that, like growing up on a farm and just getting up when the chickens and the roosters get up, and I don't know what that is. There's something about that that's endearing to me, you know, and I'm not real into the whole homeschooling thing. I'm not against it either. Like I just don't have really I just think because I wasn't homeschooled, it doesn't make sense to me, but like it is what it is. It works for some people, you know, and I don't know, it's really interesting, and then the other son on there, his name is Micah, and I'm not to this part yet, but Tanya told me he apparently, well, he looks like a Versace model, first of all. Okay, if you've ever been to like the state fair and stuff, you see guys and girls that look like this, that are like showing animals and stuff, but that they have like perfectly chiseled like faces, and like they're like, you know, in perfect shape and all this kind of stuff. Like he's that, right? Like whenever you go to like the state fair, you always see them walking around, like you see these girls that are like 18 and 19, and they're like walking around in like, you know, like farm jeans, you know what I'm talking about, with like boot cut, like not boot cut because they're fashionable, but boot cut because they're actually wearing boots, you know? And these girls have these like, it's just like they're incredible in shape and stuff like that, and just like out in the sun, and he is that, like, and he literally looks like a Versace model. Well, apparently his sister-in-law gets him into modeling at some point, which of course I'm reading this thread. The second season just came out. Tanya's like, oh my god, the second season is so much better than the first. And I'm like, don't tell me anything, Tanya. Oh my god, look, speaking of, there's a log cabin right there. But anyway, so he's like apparently like not living at home now and stuff or whatever, I don't know, and he's got a girlfriend, she's a model too, and he doesn't really say a whole lot in a lot of the episodes, not yet, like but I'm not that far into the show yet. It's just a really interesting show. So yeah, I'm like into that, watching that, I'm just listening to a lot of audiobooks and nesting. A lot of nesting. I can't wait for my duvet cover or my shams to come from Pottery Barn, although I'm thinking I'm going to wait till Thanksgiving to put those up. But once they come, I'm going to go to Target and buy a couple Christmas pillows or red pillows. And then those little Christmas trees that they have in Target when you first walk in, I think I'm going to get Alex and I each one. I have like loved my reading glasses so much, but I'm constantly taking them with me, like everywhere I go, I take them with me. And I have an old pair of reading glasses. So I have a pair of the Caddis reading glasses. Like, I'm in love with these reading glasses, okay? I mean, absolutely in love with them. They're so comfortable. They're so clear. They're heavy weighted, which I think makes a difference because a lot of reading glasses are real flimsy and fall apart. And yeah, we just left Welcome to Plathville. We're not talking about reading glasses now. But anyway, so they have what are called progressives that, like, at the top are basically clear, and then as you go down, you know, they become like stronger in strength, and that you can just kind of like wear all the time. Like, they show them on the website of people wearing them all the time. I really wanted to get some of their frames and just make them into glasses, but they don't just have that. They don't just have the frames on their website. So I was like, well, since I wear contacts every day anyway, I'll just wear contacts, and then just like I can wear the progressives. Like, these people, like, they have on their website, they just wear the progressives like all day long, right? So I was like, I just wear the progressives like all the time and just not take them off. Or just like while I'm out or something, you know? So I got on the website and I ordered 2 pairs of the Caddis progressives. I got these clear ones that are called Miklos. So I'll have these, but I'm gonna get them as progressives. So I'll have a pair of reading glasses and a pair of these. And then I got, they're called Porky and Bess, like the musical, which are the black ones that people refer to as my Dan Levy ones. So I'll have 2 of those, 2 of these, and then a pair of the tortoiseshell ones. And then the ones that are next to my computer, I can throw those out because those are like $9 jobbies that I got from Amazon, which are fine, but like they just don't last very well, and they're dirty constantly. These don't get dirty very often. They do, but like not horribly. So I decided I'm gonna keep a pair next to the computer, a pair next to the bed, and then one in my bag at all times, which leads me 2 pairs, and those will be the 2 progressives that I go back and forth when I decide which ones I want to wear for the day. So I treated myself to those. Those were actually one of the, I'm thinking about doing a video on my review channel, like best purchases of 2020. Those would definitely be one of my best purchases of 2020, hands down. And probably my iPad too. I've used my iPad a lot, and my new Keurig that I bought when we were at home. The Sol de Janeiro stuff too. I love that stuff. I got the body spray, the Coco Cabana body spray. And it's really nice. Like, I spray it on underneath my cologne. Everybody's cars and stuff are all frosted up. It's 30 degrees out. It could snow right now, you guys. It's 30 degrees outside right now. And it was 77 2 days ago. So we're 47 degrees colder right now than we were 2 days ago. It's really cold outside. I wish I had something to drink. But I don't want to get out of my car and go in somewhere. I really do love this lip balm. It reminds me how much I miss matcha green tea shakes or smoothies. So yeah, that's the new show that I'm on. And then once I get caught up on season 1, well, I'll probably watch season 2. And then I don't know what I'll watch next. I have all these shows that I wanted to watch, but now that Halloween's over, like, I'm not really excited to watch like really like scary stuff. Like, well, I guess Lovecraft isn't really scary, so I should probably watch that. Alex has been watching. Somebody was asking me tonight if I watch Lucifer. I don't watch Lucifer. Alex watches Lucifer. He thinks that guy is so good looking on Lucifer. Which is really weird because that guy is usually like the type that I would think is attractive, but I don't think he's like that good look. I was watching it the other day because I said that. Who were we talking to? I think it was either he and Melissa or he and Sarah, and I was like, I just don't think that guy's that good looking. They're like, what? So Alex, what? Sound like ducks. So Alex had it on in the bedroom the other day, and I was like watching it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what it is about him. Maybe he reminds me of somebody, I don't know. There's something about it that I just there's something about him that just is not like my cup of tea. I don't know what it is. I usually go for like, well, for some reason I really like white-haired guys. I can't imagine why. Like Anderson Cooper, Andy Cohen. I think Daniel Craig is super hot. Those are my 3 top celebrity crushes. But I go very much for like, I mean, as if it's a moot point. I mean, you know, I'm a married man. But with guys that I think are good looking or cute, you know, I go for it very much for like, just kind of like the dad, you know, like next door kind of guy that's like always the one that wants to call me Pete. Pete's on me, you know. They always are like, hey Pete, how are you? You know, like I'm good. And they're like, well, we just bought this new lawnmower, and yeah. Basically guys I went to high school with that are now grown up and live in the suburbs. That. Don't know what that's about. Anyway. Well, that's why I'm excited for my 30-year reunion that we had to cancel this year. That supposedly will be next year. We'll see. Man, the moon is just following me around. It's right over there. I love that song by Judy Collins, The Moon's a Harsh Mistress. It's one of my favorite songs. I don't know if you guys can see it. If I put it up there, it's hiding behind the trees. You probably cannot see it right now. The moon's a harsh mistress. You can't see it right now. You're like, what are we looking at? Well, basically, you're looking at trees and woods. And it's coming out right now. Do you see it right there? There it is. There's the moon. Isn't she pretty? From far away, it looks like a fingernail moon, but well, from far away, because obviously we're far away from the moon. It looks like a fingernail moon, but if you look at it closely, you can see the whole moon. So you can see it's just like, it looks like it's being, you know, shown up from the bottom. Shined up, whatever the word is. Do you know what I feel like with my hair like this and this on either side? I feel like I look like that guy from the Hunger Games that announces the Hunger Games, you know? Do you think I look like him? Or the guy that's like the mayor of Whoville? Have you guys been watching Christmas movies? There are so many free Christmas movies on cable. It's unbelievable. I've been going through gas in the last couple weeks like crazy. Burning up for your love. Come on, camera. Quit being so silly. I'm burning up for your love. Oh, man. I need to make a list of everything I need to, or everybody that I'm going to buy Christmas presents for this year. I was thinking about it with, like, and this is safe, I can say this because Caroline and everybody doesn't watch this channel, but I was thinking, like, with Caroline to get her, well, I have the thing from last year because when it finally came, I have it at home that I never gave to her. And I have David's from last year too, because that didn't come in time. But I'm obviously going to get them something else on top of that. David last year, I went and got a bunch of stuff for her because I knew his wasn't coming in time. And then Caroline's I didn't know until the day of when she opened it and it was all screwed up. But anyway, for Caroline, I was thinking about getting her the Sol de Janeiro, like one of the cream and lotion, because I love it so much. There was something else. These wine glasses that I had gotten for Sarah at Meyer too, that have like the plastic rims on them. Because when we were over there for Halloween, Caroline was sitting in her driveway. It stopped. They sit outside in their driveway a lot around that like fire pit thing that they have, that metal fire pit thing with their neighbors. And Mike had like this koozie that looked like wood, and I said, oh, that's a really cool koozie. It was like, it wasn't like a koozie. It was like it looked more like a container that you fit like a, you know, like a White Claw or a can in there or whatever. And he was like, yeah, he was like, these are the greatest. And he said, thanks. And Caroline was like, oh, we love those. And she was like, those keep drinks like super cold in the summer, and like they make sure that they, you know, whatever, like they just like, and they don't spill and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, have you seen these glasses? And she's like, no, we have these other glasses or whatever for wine and stuff, because Caroline's more of a wine drinker. And I was like, oh, I got those for Sarah. Like, maybe I would get those for Caroline, because I think that she would like those. Plus, they're kind of like fashionable. They're kind of cute. I don't know, maybe she wouldn't use them. But anyway, she could re-gift them then or something. And I don't know what I'm going to get Alex this year for Christmas. I have absolutely no idea. Like, you know, I haven't, like, the last, like, luxury kind of thing that I got him was, I don't really honestly remember what we got each other for Christmas last year. Isn't that horrible? Well, we decided that we weren't really going to do major presents anymore. We were going to do little stuff for each other, but we were going to do, because we're going to spend our money on, like, redoing the house and getting stuff for the house and whatever, which we have been doing, but we're taking trips. But the last thing I got for him was a new Louis Vuitton wallet. That was like 2-3 years ago. And he took it back because it didn't have the print that he liked on it. I can't remember which print. I think I got the old school print. When I was like a senior in high school, my dad got me a Louis Vuitton duffel bag. And like a weekender that I used to travel with. And that was so weird. I swear, I looked up there and I swear to God, I thought I saw like these two planes like converging. It almost looked like a UFO was going past that plane. That was so weird. And so we were at my dad's house like a couple years ago. I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. And I said something about that bag. I don't know how it came up. And my stepmom was like, well, it's still upstairs. They have like a room where they keep like all their luggage and stuff in. And she was like, it's upstairs, you know, in the storage room. And I was like, oh, okay. And so my dad went up there and got it. And he was like, do you want it? And I was like, I don't want it. Alex was like, can I have it? And I was like, yeah, you can have it. So he uses it. So I think, and that was like the original like Louis Vuitton print. And I think that I matched the wallet to that. And he wanted like the, what do you call it? The gray and black, like not squares, but you know, like the, I don't know what that's called. I have no idea. I'm not that into the prints to know all that stuff. I think that was like the last big deal thing I got him for. What did I get him for Christmas last year? I do not remember. I was gonna get him like a really nice cologne this year, but there's not really anything that he wants. Like I was gonna get him like a Tom Ford or something, or like a Bond. And he really loves this, and actually somebody that watches this channel, Frank, sent it to us. He loves that Dior Sauvage. He wears it like every day. That bottle that you sent us, Frank, if you're still watching. Hey Frank, if you're still watching, say hi. First of all, that package that he sent us was like one of the nicest things I've ever been sent in my life. It was this huge package all put together with cups for Tanya and Alex and I and everything. But That bottle of Dior Sauvage was huge, and that stuff smells so good on my husband. We still have like half a bottle, and he wears it like every day. I typically wear Chanel Blue if I'm just going out around, like, to do stuff around the house, or not around the house, like running errands and stuff like that. And then if I'm like, took a shower, did my hair, and I'm dressed and going to do something, I usually wear the Creed Aventus. The Prada, I don't like, that I bought at Nordstrom. I wish I had never purchased it. I still have like 3/4 of a bottle full, and it was expensive. The Terry Mugler Alien, I don't like. The woman's smells incredible. The men's, I don't like it. On me. And colognes smell different, you know, on each person. The Jo Malone 154, fantastic. I love that. But I still have 1/4 of a bottle left, so I don't need any more of that. I actually am coming up on needing some Creed. I'm like down to the wire on Creed, but that one's a little pricey, so I'm not really wanting to buy it. But when I do, I try to make it last like months, you know. I mean, it is a big bottle, but you can go through it really quick. What else? I'm really glad I bought the samples of Le Labo, because that stuff is horrible. It stinks. I actually had kept them, and they were like upstairs in my bathroom. I finally just threw them away. I was like, there's no point. I'm not going to use these. I think they all stink. I don't like them. What other colognes do I have up there? I have another Jo Malone sample that they gave me. I don't know which one it is. Chanel. I have 2 bottles of Chanel Blue, because one that's empty. I don't know why I haven't thrown it out. And it's the perfume spray instead of just the cologne spray. Don't pay the difference. There's no difference in it. They tried to sell me on the fact that it's stronger and it'll last longer, and that's just an absolute lie. Oh, what's the one that they sell at Sephora? Oh my God, I love those perfumes and colognes. The one that I have is called By the Fireside, and it smells like marshmallows, and I love to wear it in the winter. That one is one that I spray a lot. Is my battery like half? It is. That one is one that I spray a lot when I'm out vlogging. Like when it's cold outside, like now, like I'll spray that one on, because it literally smells like you're sitting by a fireside. I love that one. Do you guys know the ones I'm talking about? What are they called? It starts with an R or something. They sell them at Sephora. They're not cheap. They're not cheap at all, but I'll tell you, the thing is that those bottles last a really long time. They're really pretty bottles. They're round, and they have kind of strange caps on them. And you can actually get sample bottle, not samples like for free, but we're like, it would be good for like women or people that like, you know, like lighter scents. But they have like a sample kit that you can buy for like $20 or $40 that has like samples of them in there that are like several like used samples, you know. And then they'll have like 5 or 6 different scents in there, and you can pick which one you'd like. There's some in there that I love, but I just I like a more like woodsy smell, so that's why. There's like Jazz Club is another one that I like. The Library, is it something in the Library I like? Anyway, By the Fireside's the one that I have. I haven't bought any cologne in a while, because I haven't needed any cologne. And there's no reason to buy it if I don't need it, you know? What else? How was I talking about that? That was so random, wasn't it? I want something to drink. I'm so thirsty. I used to say that to my mom when I was a little kid. I'd say, hey, I'm thirsty. And she'd say, hi, Thursday, nice to meet you, I'm Friday. Or, hi, Thursday, nice to meet you, I'm Friday. Do you know what's really interesting is that they have not cut some of this corn down yet this year. Like, some of this corn is still, like, super high. And I'm like, are they cutting the corn this year? Like, what's the deal? I wonder if it's been too damp or something. Like, it's not damp outside though right now. Is this corn over here? No, this corn isn't cut either. Look at that. Like, that's crazy to me that they haven't cut the corn yet. I mean, it is like past the point of harvest. Like with that corn being that high. Well, maybe not. I mean, it just was Halloween. But now it's starting to look kind of wet and damaged. When is harvesting time? I feel like it's like the week or two after Halloween. Am I wrong? Do you know, I remember that hunting season in Indiana. I think it's today. I think it's November 12th. Because I can remember when I was a little kid, I would ask my dad, because I was so excited for Christmas. You guys, I just have to pull in here and show you some of these Christmas decorations, because as I'm like coming in here, I can see them. That people already have their Christmas lights on. Here, I'm just gonna turn my camera around and we'll go through here and look. But when I was a little kid, I would ask my dad, like, is it gonna snow, Dad? And he would say, there's some, are you kidding me? Don't do this. Oh, well, the battery is dying, so first of all, I have to change the battery, so hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to drive and hold this while I'm doing this, which is fine, and then when I get over here, I'll turn it around, but you can see that these people have Christmas lights on right there and down the street. I can't believe people have their Christmas lights on already. I think this is so cool. And then look at this. Look at that. Oh my God, it's so pretty. Oh, I love it. Then this one is really done up. Look at that. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Christmas house? These houses are cute in here. Okay. Okay, that's not working. The beanbag is in front of the camera. Hold on a second. Come on, beanbag. There. Is that good? Let's hit it. Okay. I'm probably not gonna vlog for a whole. They have a really cute like garden back there, like built up garden. I'm probably not gonna vlog for a whole lot longer. Was that a pool those people had? I thought, I want to go back and see if this is a pool these people have, because if it is, they have like a really cool setup back there. Would you guys like to look at houses? I just love to look at houses. If this is a pool that they have back here, they have a really, really cool setup. I can't believe this is a pool. They do have a pool. Do you know what's interesting to me is that they're just on the side of the road. I mean, it's not like a major road, it's like a neighborhood road, but they're on the side of the road, and that's not the clubhouse, is it? And their pool is just there, and they have no, that's a house. And they have no fence around their pool. Oh, it says pools for fun right next to it. I guess I should have seen that. It's a nice little backyard though. But I thought you had to have a fence around your pool if you had like in a neighborhood like this. Am I wrong about that? I do not know. Oh, there's the community pool right there. That's a nice community pool. It's empty now though. They've emptied it out, or partly emptied it out. So anyway, when I was a little kid, I would say to my dad, like, around this time of year, I would say, do you think that we're gonna get snow, Dad? And because I was like praying for snow days in November. I like wanted snow days so bad. And I always wanted snow days. And he would say, it's possible. He'd say, you know, when I was a little kid and I was your age, I guess I wasn't that little. But anyway, he would say, when he would go hunting with his older brother or his dad or whatever, or his friends, I don't know who he went hunting with. Later in life, my dad was he's so anti-hunting now in his life, but when I was growing up, he never went hunting when I was growing up, but he had when he was a kid, like it was a part of his growing up. But then as he became older, and he just was like anti-hunting, and but he would say that like hunting season starts, I think it starts on November 12th. And if that's that's today. So he would say that he can remember going out on the first day of the hunting season and there being snow on the ground. I don't know why, my mind just like totally drifts. You guys want to know where my mind went? I was thinking about my mom talking about that movie. Do you guys remember that movie? I don't think I ever even saw it. I need to see this as an homage to my mom. It was called like The Deer Hunter. I think it was called The Deer Hunter. And it won like an Academy Award. It was like super famous. And I can remember like overhearing her talk about it. Like my mom and her girlfriends would sit around, like this was when I was growing up, but they would sit around in the afternoons for hours and just smoke cigarettes and have drinks. That was their afternoons, you know. Oh my gosh. That literally has not happened in so long. I don't understand what is going on with this beanbag deal now. That has not happened in so long to the stupid camera that's fallen over. Okay. Oh, now, of course, it's out of focus. This is Lake Peter. It's time to stop vlogging. But anyway, for some reason, like, I have a memory of my mom and, like, her friends sitting there. What is over here? It's like, the camera just looks off to me tonight. I don't know why. I'm like, it's driving me nuts, but it's whatever. But I can remember my mom and her friend, like, having a conversation about that movie. I don't know how old I would have been. Is that the movie? I don't know anything about it. I think it was up for an Academy Award or something. But for some reason, I was thinking about that. And then I was thinking about the fact that, like, other than with, like, Tanya, like, I don't sit around and have, like, long, deep, lengthy, meaningful conversations that much with people anymore. You know, I did when I was growing up. I think I craved that. I think that was something that was, like, when I looked at my mom and her friends, because I was just thinking to myself, like, I wanted to see that movie for so long, like, I felt like I should see that movie, but I don't remember ever seeing that movie when I got older, you know? But I can remember, like, looking at, like, kind of being mesmerized by those friendships and those conversations, you know, of, like, wanting to be like that kind of adult that would sit there and have these long conversations. And I definitely romanced that side of my mom's drinking. I definitely did. Smoking cigarettes, sitting around and just talking and looking pretty, and, you know, like, I loved that. Lighting candles, having a fire going in the fireplace, you know, with supper, like, in the oven, like, cooking, you know, like, that smell of the house. Like, I definitely idolized that growing up. I think that's what I wanted to be, was a housewife. I mean, really, I think I did to some degree, you know? I think I wanted to sit around and drink martinis at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and talk about really great cinematic performances or something. I don't know. Like, I was just... Like, I think back about that, and I think about... Like, I don't remember growing up. Like, I mean, I remember thinking to myself, like, I want to be a writer. I always kind of, like, was attracted to, like, real desperate types. Like, I remember when I saw the movie Frances Farmer with Jessica Lange. I was in high school, I think. And I was like, I'm obsessed with her. Like, she's fantastic, right? I mean, and the whole story is so sad. I actually have that book sitting out on my counter because somebody sent it to me and I never read it. It's called, like, Will There Ever Be a Morning After? And I want to read that book so bad. I can remember this girl that I went to junior high with reading that book when we were in junior high, and just, like, sobbing reading that book. Actually, I was just thinking about this the other day. This babysitter that I had, she brought, like, when the book came out, Mommy Dearest, she was, like, babysitting me, and I can remember she would bring it over and she would read it. It was on the counter. It's so crazy to me, like, looking back, that babysitter of mine was reading the actual book, Mommy Dearest. But anyway, you know, it's like... And then I can remember reading The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, and I just was always like really attracted to these very desperate, serious stories. You know, it's like To Kill a Mockingbird is my favorite movie of life. Like, that's interesting, don't you think? Like, it's just like I've always been very attracted to these very, very serious, desperate. Now I'm listening to Cozy Mysteries, right? But when I was growing up, I don't remember myself like looking at any athletes and thinking, I mean, I played a lot of tennis, you guys. Like, I think, like, as much as I've even talked about it on this channel, you would never have any idea, like, how much I was training to be, like, a professional athlete. And I never remember thinking to myself, like, I want to be a Bjorn Borg, or I want to be a Pete Sampras, or, you know, I want to be an Yvonne Lindell. I can remember thinking to myself, I'd like to meet them, and some of them I did, but I don't remember ever thinking, like, I wanted to be them. I don't remember ever looking at politicians and thinking, like, I want to be a politician, or an attorney, or a doctor. I can remember thinking I wanted to be a soap opera writer because I loved watching soap operas with my grandma, and I thought it would be fun to concoct those stories. And I can remember, you know, like, wanting to go on game shows because I loved watching game shows, you know. But did I think to myself, like, I want to be a math professor? No, I never thought that. You know, and I don't remember looking at people as, like, role models when I was growing up. Like, you know, I'm trying to just think of somebody, but, like, you know, Benjamin Franklin, or I don't know who, you know, like Susan B. Anthony or something, you know, and reading these stories and being like, oh, I'm so inspired. I can remember sitting there and watching my mom. Like, I can remember being curled up, you know, in the corner of a chair and watching my mom and her friends just, you know, in, like, really, like, huge turtleneck cashmere sweaters with their hair long and their makeup on, you know, sitting there smoking cigarettes, and fantastic shoes and candles burning and incense, and, you know, and music playing, and, you know, and this, like I said, the smell of supper in the other room, and, you know, just that, you know, like, and Bob Dylan lightly playing in the corner, and the fireplace roaring, and my mom and her friends having some deep conversation about, you know, their favorite days that they've ever had in their life, and wasn't January 19th of 1976 a great day? You know, like, that's what I remember, and looking at them and thinking, God, I want to be them, you know? And then, when I was in junior high, like, I remember, this is so funny, because somebody that, I don't know who it is, but my cousin told me, because she said, somebody told me I need to watch your vlog because you were talking about my house. So I don't know who you are. That is a friend of my cousin Caroline's, but hey, how are you? But when I was in junior high, like, I idolized Caroline. I mean, I still do. But, like, I wanted to be her so bad. Like, I wanted to be my cousin Caroline. I thought she was the coolest. I remember we were talking about this at Halloween because, I don't know, like, my dad was going out of town a lot or something. I don't know what was going on. He probably, well, no, he and my stepmom would have been married by then. So, I don't know. Well, anyway, I don't know where they were that summer. I think there was one summer they went to Europe for like 2 months. Maybe that was when it was, or like a month. But Caroline watched me, and she was kind of like a babysitter, but I mean, I didn't really need a babysitter at that age, you know? And we would drive around, and her diet, because she was trying to lose weight, was a ding-dong and a Diet Coke. I was telling this story, and Alex goes, yes, her diet was a ding-dong and a Diet Coke. I was like, I'm sorry I've told this story so many times, but I love this story. So anyway, and she knew she was the coolest, and she would drive like her car like this with these Ray-Ban sunglasses, and she always was smoking Marlboro Lights back then, and she doesn't smoke anymore, but anyway, she would smoke Marlboro Lights, and she would just sit there, and she would be like, yo, Janet, I'm about to get, no, what was the, so what's up with this guy? Do you really like him that much? Yes, honey, I love him. He is fine. And she had her hair, like, feathered back and these cute little bangs, and I loved my cousin so much. And I thought she was the coolest, and she was the coolest, and I wanted to be just like her and her group of friends. And I did. And those were my role models growing up, you know, my cousin and my aunt was just such a strong woman, you know, and I think I also, like, with my mom, like, and her friends, I also think I, like, wanted to be part of something that I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, I think I wanted to be, like I don't think I didn't have any friends. I wasn't sitting there having those meaningful exchanges with anybody, and I think I yearned for that. Even, like, at a young age, I could see that was meant something. And so I wanted that, you know, whatever that meant. But do I think it's interesting that later my friends and I sat around in my first apartment, and I would light a fire and burn incense and have candles and a fire in the fireplace, and we'd sit around for hours on end playing music and having deep conversations while we drank and smoked cigarettes? No, it's not a miss on me that I basically recreated the world I grew up in. And I think that really bothered my mom. I think she really owned that. I think, like, if she hadn't been that way, then, I mean, I think she really felt like that she was, like, my peer, like, not my peer influence, but that she, like, was the role model for that. And she probably was, and that's okay, you know? I mean, I think I was going to drink either way and end up drugging, but I think, like, my mom never did drugs, but she said she never did drugs. I think I would have ended up drinking the same way that I drank. I think the picture would have looked different, if that makes sense. And hell, towards the last couple of years, like, just every situation that I drank was horrible, you know? So it's probably better that I was really attracted to that state. I mean, I loved nothing more than to, like, take a shower, put my pajamas on. Like, I can remember going to the liquor store and getting enough liquor just to get completely wasted for the night. Whether that was a case of beer or, you know, rum or whatever, you know, for the night, or the Jack Daniels towards the end. That's all I drank at the end. Vodka I drank for a long time. But I can remember, like, I can remember in the winter, like, taking a shower, putting on my pajamas, and, like, actual, like, button-up pajamas, you guys, and, like, my apartment was so cozy, and I can remember, like, getting that Captain Morgan spiced rum and drinking that with Coke, and then, like, making a fire in the fireplace and, like, watching a movie and just sitting there and, like, having one drink after another until I kind of, like, passed out. Like, I would walk into the bedroom and and that was just real desirable to me. Like, I loved that feeling of just being kind of like, and then I would just fall and pass out on the bed, you know? That's strange to me, that was like, I liked all of that, you know? I liked drinking at home and all of that. I didn't have to be out with a bunch of people, and I, in fact, sometimes enjoyed my company, my own company more, you know? And I didn't want somebody telling me, like, how much to drink and watching how much I drank. I didn't want all of that sometimes. Sometimes it was too much, you know what I mean? Man, this vlog has gone all over the place, so I'm gonna get off here now. Hope you guys are having an amazing Thursday. Unless you have other plans, but like I always say, don't have other plans. I haven't said this actually in a while. Make the most of your day. Do something fun. Do something exciting today. Do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it, no matter when that is, tomorrow or 120 years from now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and tell yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation, like you are valuable. If you guys haven't started practicing the magic book with me about 28 days of gratitude, it's not too late. Tomorrow will be, when you're watching this, it'll be day 4. But you can start it at any time. It's such a fantastic book. It's really, I was going to talk about it a little bit tonight, because it's really, like, positively affecting me already and making me look at the world in a really, like, I already felt gratitude on such a deep level, but it's making me even think about it more and more and more. And yeah, what else? Most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. You can do that with a phone call, text, postcard, stop by, leave a note in their mailbox, whatever. Write a letter, Maria. And tell yourself every single day you're going to be happy, joyous, and free, and that today is going to be an amazing day full of great opportunities and positive experiences are going to come your way all day today, and that you can start your day over whenever you want. And like I also always say, practice random acts of kindness, but don't tell anyone. And like I also always say, but don't tell anyone. Just do it to put positivity, love, compassion, kindness, and forgiveness out there in the world. And if you guys like this vlog video, please give it a big thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. If you've already subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you're still subscribed, because people are getting them subscribed unknowingly, and on all of my channels. And if you're not subscribed already, please think about subscribing and joining us over here, the OG Wolf Pack, those of us that are just trying to get through life one day at a time. One day at a time. Do you guys remember that show back in the day? Anyway, I love that show, One Day at a Time. It's supposed to take place in Indianapolis. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope you're having an amazing Thursday. That was like a quick, long outro. Do you remember my outros were like 9 minutes each, you guys? I just don't know that I can ever. I know some people miss them, but I don't know that I can ever go back to that again. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Peace, and I will see you tomorrow. Love you. Peace and serenity. Bye. Love ya. Wait. Bye. Love ya.